The story of dinosaurs is one we think we know, giant beasts evolving from small, humble origins. For generations, textbooks and museum displays have painted a picture of dinosaurs as the ultimate success story of evolution, rising from tiny, unremarkable creatures to the towering giants that once ruled the Earth. But as with all things in science, the truth is often more complicated, and sometimes, a single discovery can upend everything we thought we understood. Science is always changing, and sometimes a single fossil can rewrite the narrative. Each new find is like a puzzle piece, and occasionally, one piece doesn't fit the way we expect. That's when paleontologists know they're onto something big, literally and figuratively. In Zambia, a fragment of a femur from the Triassic period has done just that. This region, once overlooked, is now revealing secrets that could change our understanding of dinosaur origins. This bone is much larger than expected for such an early dinosaur relative. Its sheer size stands out among the other fossils from the same era, raising new questions about what these animals were really like. It challenges the idea that dinosaurs and their kin started small and only later became giants. The evidence suggests that the evolutionary path to gigantism may have begun much earlier than we thought, and in more places than previously imagined. The discovery suggests that some early relatives of dinosaurs were already experimenting with large body sizes. These animals weren't just passive players waiting for their moment. They were already pushing the boundaries of what was possible in their environments. Imagine paleontologists' surprise. Expecting a delicate bone, they found something robust, hinting at a significant animal in its ecosystem. The excitement in the field was palpable, as this find hinted at a much more dynamic and competitive world than previously believed. This fossil is like a hidden page in a familiar book, changing the plot entirely. It forces us to reconsider the early chapters of dinosaur evolution, and to ask what other surprises might be waiting in the rocks. If some dinosaur relatives were already large, what does that mean for the true dinosaurs? Could it be that the drive to grow big was a trait inherited from even earlier ancestors, rather than a unique dinosaur innovation? Did size evolve in fits and starts rather than a simple progression? Perhaps the path to becoming a giant was more like a winding road, with stops, starts, and unexpected detours along the way. Evolution is messy, full of twists and turns. This bone invites us to see the Triassic as a complex era, not just a prelude. It was a time of experimentation, adaptation, and surprising innovation. The story of dinosaurs just got a lot more interesting, all thanks to one surprising bone. It's a reminder that the past is never as settled as it seems, and that every fossil has the potential to change our story, and it's only the beginning of what we're about to uncover. With every new discovery, the dinosaur story grows richer, more complex, and infinitely more fascinating. The Zambian femur, dating back an astonishing 225 million years, was tucked away in a museum collection, unnoticed and unstudied for decades. It sat quietly among hundreds of other fossils, its true significance hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to discover it. When researchers finally took a closer look, they realized this was no ordinary bone. It belonged to a Silesaur, a close cousin of dinosaurs, remarkably larger than any Silesaur previously found. This discovery sent ripples through the paleontological community, challenging what we thought we knew about these ancient creatures. This particular animal would have weighed about 10 kilograms, roughly the size of a medium dog. For its time, that made it a true giant among its peers, towering over the more common, much smaller Silesaurs that shared its world. Most Silesaurs were only about the size of a house cat, but this one would have been a formidable presence, likely dominating its environment and perhaps even influencing the evolution of other species around it. Its discovery in Africa not only expands our understanding of where these animals lived, but also hints at a much broader and more complex evolutionary story. It suggests that Silesaurs were able to adapt to a variety of environments across the ancient supercontinent. The find suggests that early dinosaur relatives were far more widespread and diverse than we ever imagined, thriving in different regions and developing unique adaptations to survive. Different environments, from lush floodplains to arid forests, may have driven some populations to grow larger, giving them an edge in the competition for food and territory. This single bone forces us to rethink the Triassic landscape. Dinosaur relatives weren't just small, background players. They were already experimenting with size and ecological roles, shaping the world around them in ways we're only beginning to understand. These animals were already competing for resources, interacting with other species, and playing a key part in the ancient ecosystems that would eventually give rise to the age of dinosaurs. Sometimes, the most important clues about our planet's past come in the most unexpected sizes, a single bone quietly waiting to rewrite the story of life on Earth. So, what is a Silesaur? Think of them as dinosaurs' closest cousins, part of the same family tree, but just outside the official dinosaur group. Silesaurs shared many features with early dinosaurs: long necks, tails, and powerful hind limbs. Most were herbivores or omnivores, unlike the carnivorous early dinosaurs. For years, Silesaurs were seen as small, secondary players, an evolutionary experiment that didn't quite make it. But the large Zambian Silesaur changes that story. It shows Silesaurs were more diverse and adaptable than we realized. Some grew large, suggesting they weren't just a failed side branch. The relationship between Silesaurs and dinosaurs is more complex than a simple replacement. Both groups were exploring different ways of life, sometimes with Silesaurs even outpacing dinosaurs in size. The evolutionary stage was crowded, and the competition fierce. The Silesaurs story is just as fascinating as the dinosaurs' own. In the Triassic, body size was everything. It shaped what animals ate, how they survived, and who ruled the land. After the Permian-Triassic extinction, reptiles competed fiercely to fill empty niches. The old theory was that dinosaurs and their kin stayed small, overshadowed by larger reptiles. But the Zambian Silesaur, at 10 kilograms, disrupts this view. It was big enough to compete for food and avoid some predators. This suggests the evolutionary arms race was more complex. Silesaurs weren't just waiting in the wings, they were already evolving larger bodies and playing a bigger role in their ecosystems. The dominance of other reptile groups may not have been as absolute as we thought. Multiple groups, including Silesaurs, were experimenting with size. The Triassic world was dynamic, competitive, and full of evolutionary innovation. The future rulers of the planet were already testing the limits. This remarkable discovery didn't happen out in the wild or at a dig site. It happened quietly, tucked away in a museum archive far from the public eye. The Zambian femur was collected decades ago and sat patiently in storage, its secrets hidden, waiting for the right moment and the right eyes to notice it. Museum collections are like vast libraries of natural history, preserving fossils and artifacts for future generations to study, learn from, and be inspired by. Behind the scenes, millions of specimens, each with its own story, await new analysis, fresh perspectives, and the possibility of rewriting what we know about our planet's past. When the femur was first collected, scientists simply didn't have the tools or knowledge to understand its true significance. It was a mystery, waiting for science to catch up. Decades later, with new technology, advanced imaging, and a deeper understanding of prehistoric life, researchers could finally unlock the secrets hidden within this ancient bone. This is the magic of museums. They allow us to revisit the past with modern science, giving old discoveries new meaning and context. Without the careful curation and dedication of museum staff, this fossil and countless others might have been lost, damaged, or simply forgotten over time. Museums are not just places to display relics. They're active laboratories for discovery, where the past and present come together to shape our understanding of life on Earth. Every drawer, every box, every shelf could hold the next big breakthrough, waiting for someone to look a little closer. The Zambian Silesaur is living proof that history can be rewritten from the archives, and that the next chapter of science might be hiding in plain sight. By supporting museums, we're not just preserving the past, we're investing in the future of science, discovery, and human curiosity. The classic story says dinosaurs started small and got bigger, Cope's rule in action. But the Zambian Silesaur suggests evolution wasn't so straightforward. Large body size was possible from the very beginning. Instead of a steady march toward gigantism, early dinosaur relatives were experimenting with size in all directions. Some lineages grew larger, others shrank, depending on their environment. Maybe the common ancestor of dinosaurs and Silesaurs was already medium-sized. Perhaps some early dinosaurs actually evolved to become smaller, not bigger. Shrinking can be a successful strategy. Less food, faster reproduction, better hiding. The real question isn't just how dinosaurs got big, but why some got small. The story of early dinosaur evolution is about diversity, not just size. The path to the giants was anything but straight. The Zambian Silesaur femur answers some questions but opens many more. Was this giant an isolated case or part of a larger trend? To find out, scientists need more fossils, from Africa, South America, and beyond. What were the first dinosaurs doing while their cousins got big? We need more complete skeletons to compare their strategies for survival. The search will combine fieldwork and museum research, using new technologies to unlock old bones. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding why dinosaurs, not silosaurs, ruled the world. The hunt for answers is just beginning. The Zambian Silesaur changes more than just one group's story. It reshapes our view of dinosaur origins. For years, dinosaurs' success was credited to unique features, but now we see the lines between them and their relatives were blurrier. Gigantism wasn't exclusive to dinosaurs. It was a shared trait among their broader family. The rise of dinosaurs was less about destiny, more about timing, luck, and environmental change. Silesaurs were successful and adaptable, but dinosaurs survived the upheavals at the end of the Triassic. Their victory wasn't guaranteed. It was one outcome among many possibilities. Evolution is a process of constant experimentation, not a march toward a predetermined goal. The Silesaur's story is just as important for understanding the bigger picture of life in the Mesozoic. The story of dinosaurs is always evolving, shaped by every new discovery. A single bone can send scientists back to the drawing board, rewriting what we thought we knew. The Zambian Silesaur reveals a hidden branch in the evolutionary web, showing that the path to size was explored by more than one group. Each fossil adds a new chapter to the epic of life on Earth. Paleontologists are detectives, piecing together lost worlds from scattered clues. The tale of the dinosaurs is far from over. There are still mysteries waiting in museum drawers and unexplored rocks. As long as we keep searching, the story will continue to surprise and inspire. The next discovery is out there, ready to change everything once again.